negative publicity actually helps me rather than destroys my career.
Yeah.
And the saying, all publicity is good publicity, is absolutely gold.
I think that's fascinating. And the reason why it's fascinating is because, obviously nowadays, if you are even considering entrepreneurship, doing any form of business, marketing itself is very important. PR is very important. Everyone is more or less in the game of branding. But what's so interesting is that the mainstream trend is that people would really curate how they present themselves, their brand, everything. So we're talking about almost these picture perfect profiles and whatnot. And then when I came across your stuff, I found it really fascinating because obviously you're on the headlines a lot, but you were actually sharing a lot of even the negative press. And I think for a lot of people, they might not understand what's going on there. But this thing you're talking about, this contrarian thinking of bad press being actually press regardless, is brilliant. So that's the thing that's been propelling you forward in a sense.
Great, Melvin. You used the perfect term, contrarian. I mean, I've always been a contrarian, even back in my student days. The one book that really changed me is one by Christopher Hitchens. He wrote a book called Letters to a Young Contrarian. And he was exactly saying that if you want success, a lot of the times, think differently and just try that position anyway. So I've been doing that ever since. I actually had a great debate with my then girlfriend, who very much appreciated good press but hated the bad.
Okay.
And I never understood it.
You must have been a nightmare. You must have been a nightmare.
Exactly. I think that's why
you're trying to curate an image.
Oh,
I see.
She can't stand it. But I very much loved it. And not that many people, honestly, understand my thinking, but let the results speak for itself,
I think especially in Asia, I think especially in Asia, when you're talking about just being contrarian generally, it's actually quite difficult because, culturally speaking, it's a culture of people who are really used to following the rules, and anything that's sort of abnormal is just more or less shunned upon.
On one occasion, it did hit me. I mean, back in, I think, 2016 or 17, I wrote one article that was slightly political, but not quite. My main point was that if you were famous, if you were a big celebrity, and you adopted a position that netizens liked, be it political or social, then whatever you wrote would become gospel to them. And you'd naturally be considered a poet or writer of George Orwell's class, no matter how bad the actual prose is. I wrote that with a very indirect reference to my then girlfriend, and the netizens attacked me for over a week. Basically, they hated because I was basically.
Did you get death threats? Did you get death threats? Actually,
I did. Okay. At the time, my Facebook had fewer than 10,000 followers for sure, and but that post itself attracted, I think, perhaps 10,000 responses. I also think that was the time when we just started to be able to give dislikes. Angry faces.
They included
I got a lot of
the
that.
Full spectrum emojis at the time.
That was the only time. I was really down because I struggled to understand it because I was honestly speaking the truth, which is that if you're famous and your view is what is liked online, then whatever you say is really appreciated by people. And I remember hiding in my bedroom in the afternoon, all lights off, curtains closed.
Wow.
And I might have wept. I can't remember, but
you probably got yourself a tub of Haagen-Dazs and.
Well, I was just hiding in my room, but I was saved. I was saved by my then girlfriend, who rushed to my side and told me that she would forgive me. But that wasn't the reason why I got better. A very famous celebrity in Hong Kong, whose name I wouldn't review, called me and told me that actually, she's a feng shui sifu master.
Okay.
So she rang me up and told me the reality, which is that she said, if you go into Central, walk into onto a street, and just let the pedestrians see you, just observe whether they would throw eggs at you or ask you for pictures. I'm afraid the latter happened rather than the former, proving that all publicity really is good publicity. So from then on, I realized what happens online in the press doesn't actually reflect reality at all. It reflects a rather distorted reality. So from then on, I lost all fear, and I just started to enjoy myself with all the negative press.
And it's sort of liberating, isn't it, in a sense where, you know, us, even generally just lay people using social media, they try and really present something that's so sort of artificial, and they feel bound by what they can really do. But here you are, just having a time, having fun.
Yeah. Well, why so serious? Netizens in Hong Kong tend to take things really seriously. I mean, they're a bit like the lefty people in the UK, in the States, but
right.
they can't take jokes, and they hardly really understand what I write. About 10% of the people do, but other than that, most of them just take me way too seriously. But that's my trap, you see. that's how my machine works.
It's exactly what you're trying to go for, more or less, isn't it?
Exactly.